Hi, this is Craig Cookert. I'm Renzo Gracie. Welcome to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Advanced Arm Lock.
For our first arm lock, we're going to be doing it from the guard. Okay. I want to walk my legs up his back so that I get him over his shoulders, like this. This keeps my hips up and it keeps his arms locked in. Okay? So I'm here, my feet are on the ground, keep them here, then start to walk them up. Once I get to here, I want to hold his arms here and just push my pelvis up. Very simple. One more time. Legs up high, push them together. Once more. Grab the hands, legs up high, and squeeze. Okay, one more time. One thing that you have to kind of watch out for with this is if the guy has real wide shoulders, how are you going to get your feet crossed? So what you want to do is you want to just turn your hips a little bit and try to get it just over one shoulder, one part of the shoulder here. You can keep this one up here and still keep the lock. It'll just do it to the one arm as opposed to both arms. Okay, so if he has wide shoulders, you just want to kind of scoot your hips out, get your leg up, and only get it over the one part of the one shoulder. And then just bring that leg in, and that's it.
This is another arm lock. We call it Kimura. It begins like this. You grab the hip and the collar here and put the knee on his stomach. After he tries to push your knee, you're going to grab his wrist and pass your hand behind his elbow like this. So you're going to pass to this side, lift up this leg, and put your knees right next to his head. For his head doesn't escape this way. So you block here to make a trap, and then you just press to this way, like this. You're gonna break his shoulder like here. Once again, so we are here. I grab his hip and his collar. I put my knees on his stomach. I grab his wrist like this. And this hand comes behind his arm like this. So I'm gonna put this knee on the ground here, this one, and lift up this leg like this to give me enough pressure to pull his arm down, out like this, to lock. It's very important to keep this leg right next to his head, for don't let his head escape, you know? So I just press like this. Okay. I grab his hip and his collar here, put my knee on his stomach. After he push here, I'm gonna grab his wrist with this hand, and the other one we're gonna pass behind his arm like this. So we'll put this knee on the ground, and now I lift up the other leg like this. So I'm gonna bring his arm like this to give pressure here. This we're gonna break his shoulder. So be careful like this. Okay. This is a elbow lock. So for the right situation to happen is when the guy tries to grab your arms and stay like this. You're going to slide away your hips like this, put your feet on his ribs like this, and you're going to grab his elbow like that and press. You're going to finalize here. You see? It's very important to put your hands on his elbow when you slide like this to keep his arm here. So after you put your feet on his ribs, you're going to press with your knee like this. See? Once again, I'm here. He tried to to grab my arms. I'm going to his elbow like this, put my feet on his hip, and escape. After that, I put my knee on his elbow, and I press like this. Okay, once again, I grab his elbow like this, with both hands, put my feet on his hip, slide my hip away, and then I use my knee to finalize here. It's very important to keep your hand tight here, for when you pressure, you break his elbow like this. This is a continuation of the last arm lock. We're gonna change to a shoulder lock. It goes like this. After you try to finalize here, the guy gotta turn the arm like this. You know, he did this so we won't give enough pressure to finalize here. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring this leg, the below leg, the bottom leg out like this. So I'm gonna turn this like I wanna lay down right next to him. See, I put this feet on the ground and I'm gonna grab his belt here and hug him like this. Because if I let him loose, he's gonna roll and I'm gonna miss his arm. So I'm gonna grab right here. I'm gonna make the figure of 4 here. I'm gonna put both knees on the ground like this. When I do this, his arm goes forward. So I'm gonna break his shoulder. Once again, I'm here trying to finalize. He just turned the arm, so I missed that arm lock. So I'm gonna bring this leg out a little bit and throw this to the front, the other leg to the front. And I'm gonna hug him to avoid him to roll over, because I'm gonna miss the arm lock. So I grab him, I make the figure of 4 here, and I'm going to put my knees on the ground like this to give enough pressure to finalize. Okay, one more time. After I grab his arm, he's gonna turn a little bit. It won't give me enough pressure to finalize him. So I'm gonna bring my knee out a little bit, this one out, and the other one, I'm gonna put my feet on the ground like this. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hug him, for don't let him roll, or I'm gonna miss the arm. So I open my leg a little bit, make the figure of 4 here, and I'm going to put my knees on the ground like this. And I'm going to finalize him. But it's very important, don't forget to hug the guy. And keep hugging until you put your knees on the ground. So this will make sure that he won't roll.
This next arm lock we're going to do from the guard. If the person comes around and tries to choke me or get me in a headlock here, I want to keep him in my guard. I don't want to try to get out of here. I want to keep him right here. I bring this arm on this side of his head, okay? Over here. Just keep him here. I can keep him away with my legs so he doesn't have all the weight on top of me. I want to kind of push away with my legs, okay? My hand's going to go to this wrist. Now, I push away and break the grip here. One more time. I push away and break the grip, okay? Hold on to it, push away, and keep a hold of it. Now, I'm going to push this arm up and give it to this one. One more time. He grabs me around the neck, right? I push him away. Try to break the grip a little bit. Hold on to here. Bring this arm onto this side. Push away, keep your head high. Hand this one, this wrist, to this hand. Okay, let's try it one more time. Your partner grabs you around the neck. Hold the wrist, and on this side. Push him away with the legs. This breaks the grip. Give the hand, grab his wrist with your other hand, and make it tighter.
Right, the next arm lock is gonna be from the across side. We fall down like across like this, he lift up the arm like this. So I'm gonna surround his arm and grab my collar. I had to grab the other collar like this. So after I grab the collar, I put this hand on the ground right here. And I'm gonna turn over his head like this. And I'm gonna put all my weight on him. So now I'm gonna lift up this leg, put over his face, and put the knee on his ribs and fall like this. So after here, you just arc your body and brings his wrist down like this. See, once again. After I fall here, I grab his arm. So I grab my collar. This hand will go on the ground like this side for avoid him to keep rolling with me when I was walking around here. So after that, I'm gonna give a big step over his head, put my weight here, leave all my weight, and then I'm gonna put this knee on the ground, lift up this leg, put this knees on his ribs, and fall with his arm on the arm lock. Okay, it's very important to keep the knees together and the feet on the ground. Now, once again, I'm right next to him. I grab my collar here, this one, like this. So after I grab my collar, I put my right hand on the ground here to make sure that his body won't go with me when I surround him. So now I'm gonna turn over him, put my weight over him, put this knee on the ground, my left knee on the ground. So I pass my right leg over his face, put my left knee on his ribs, and then I fall down with his arm, lock it. Keep the knees together, the feet on the ground, and just arc your body like this.
Once again, we're doing this arm lock from across side. Sometimes the guy tries to push you away. You're on top and he's trying to push you away. I want to come under his arm here, and I want to, as he pushes me away, I turn into him. You see this a lot in judo. I'm hanging onto him here. I have my base here so that I won't fall back. I keep this leg so I'm not going to fall anywhere. I keep my weight on his ribs. Now, I keep the weight, I shift the weight onto my elbow. As this leg comes back, this leg comes over. Now, I don't fall back, I just keep my pelvis up. One more time. From across side, he starts to push me away. I come underneath and catch the arm right here, hand on the elbow. Okay? Keep the weight on the elbow and on his stomach. Now, I'm going to switch the legs. Sometimes you might run into the problem, your hand is right here, and you're coming, and it kind of stops you. You want to just turn your hand. Okay? Foot right next to the head. Now just hips forward. Okay, one more time. When I get to here, and I'm going to get his arm here in the arm lock, the legs over, the hips just come up like this. Okay, so we're here. Remember, you can keep this turned if it's getting in your way here. Okay? So we're here. Shift the legs, weight on the elbow, leg comes over the face. Now it's just forward. Just the hips just forward. Keep the hand on the elbow.
Okay, this is another arm lock. We call American lock, but this one will be applied with legs like this. One right cross him, he pushing here, you kick to the front, this leg like this. You're gonna grab his wrist like this, and put it down, and get with your feet like this. So you're gonna make the figure of 4 like this. Now I'm gonna surround his neck with my hand, give one hand to another, and bring him up, and then I press. This you're gonna break his shoulder. Once again, I'm cross him from him, he push me my hips away. So I change side like this, his head's gonna come this way. So I'm gonna grab his wrist and put it down and get with my leg. So after I put my leg, I make the 4 figure here, like this. So I surround his neck, grab one hand in another, and then I bring him up and give the pressure with the leg. Again, after he tried to avoid me, I'm gonna change my base like this. His head will be slipping off like this. So I'm gonna grab his wrist like this and take down and put him on my leg like this. So after this, I'm gonna make the 4 figure here to lock his arm like inside here. So after that, I'm gonna pass my hand under his head like this, grab one another like this, and then I bring him up and I give the pressure here. So it's very important to lock well his arm here, to make sure that his arm won't escape. So after you close it here, you go as you want to put the both knees on the ground after you grab your hand like this.
Okay, here's one more arm lock from across side. I want to grab the collar and the leg, here and here. Okay? I want to come up to put my knee in the stomach. If he tries to keep me, hold me on the back of my collar right here from getting away, he holds me, I want to come and hold my hand on his elbow. My knee's in the weight is on my knee and the stomach. My fist is on the ground. Okay? One more time. Here, I grab here and here. I come up to here. Knees in the stomach, keep the weight on the knee. This is what's going to keep him down. He holds onto my collar so I don't take off. I want to put my hand on the elbow, and this pushes it and locks it. Now I put the weight on my hand, on my fist, and my leg comes over. As I fall back, this knee, don't let it drop down. Make sure it stays here. And we have the arm lock. I just keep the hands, one on top of the other, on the elbow, and I push down. Okay, let's try it again. Grab the collar, hand over here. Come up to the knee and the stomach. Hand on his elbow, fist on the ground. I want to lean my weight forward. Lean my weight forward. This is going to make this leg real light. Enables me to come around. Now this leg, make sure you keep it in. If you keep it out, you're going to lose it. You got to keep him here. Put the pressure down. Both hands on the elbow. Okay, last time. Grab his collar and his pants. Bend up, knee in the stomach. Keep the weight on the knee. Hand on the elbow. Lean the weight forward. Swing the leg around. Fall back and keep this tight right here. Elbow down.
Now let's take a look at some no-rules fighting from Brazil. The jiu-jitsu fighters are in the blue. Now here's a look at movements covered on the other tapes in our series, volumes 1 through 11.
This next arm lock we're going to do from the guard position, between my legs. I want to take this hand and I'm keeping my pelvis up, keeping away so I can't take any punches. And I'm going to push this way, and I want to push the arm this way, and I want to come in underneath and hold here with this arm, with this hand, okay? Looks like this. Like that. Push it across and hang on. Hang on to the back of the head. I want to put this foot on the ground and scoot my hips out. I don't want to scoot this way. I want to scoot my hips that way. Scoot out. This hand comes over the face. Now the leg comes over, and I keep my heel to my butt. Keep him tight. If I leave it like this, a big guy's just going to stand up and yank his arm out of there. If I keep it like this, he can't get out. Then my pelvis just lifts forward. This is a very common move for the top guy in a street fight. He's going to try and, he can't punch me from here because he doesn't have the distance. So what he's going to try to do is come up and then punch me. So what I want to do from the bottom, I want to keep my elbow in, hand here, just like normal. Remember, I want to bump up. I want to bump up and get all his weight off me. I don't want to be laying flat again. So I bump up and turn a little bit sideways. Now when I turn sideways, I want to make sure that my knee is right here, right next to his hip, right in that hole right there where his hip is. Okay? So one more time, I want to bump up, and bring my knee right close here. You can just sit it right here, right on his hip. Now, as he starts to leave me to come back, I stay with him, and then I pull away, bringing my knee in to keep him away. As we come up together, and then I break away and keep my knee in tight. One more time. So here, I want to bump up and get sideways, keep the knee in. As he goes back to punch me, he comes back, I bring the knee in.
So as the last one, the same as the last one, he grabs on here. But unfortunately, he bends me over like this, grabbing his hand. So what I have to do, I can't straighten my body up, you know? So I'm gonna grab his rib here, like this, with this hand. The other one, I'm gonna put on his other knee, like this. And this feet, we're gonna come, as I wanted to touch the both thumbs, like this. So I'm here, I'm gonna do this. After I do this position, I'm gonna sit on my ankle here, and then roll falling mountain like this, very slowly. Going straight to the mount position. Then I'm gonna put this hand on his neck, get the other one, and pressure until his arm be straightened. Now I'm gonna put this hand on the ground and finalize with an arm lock. So once again, after he bent me over, I grab his hip here with this hand there. The other one, I'm gonna get his knee like this. No thumb, like this. So this feet, we're gonna come in a step like, I wanna step inside his legs, like this. After I do this, I'm gonna sit here and mount and get the mount position straight. So I leave the weight behind, so he doesn't roll me again this way. So I put the hand on his neck like this, I give the pressure, and then I go for the arm lock. Once again, my opponent tried to stand again in my guard. So after he stand up, I'm gonna open my leg like this, try to put my knees together like this, and I'm gonna grab his ankles with my hands like this. So I was block it like this, he stand up, I open it, my legs, and I put the knees together. Now I'm gonna grab his ankles and push him down like this. After he falls, I'm gonna put the hand on the ground like this side. I'm gonna put the hand and I'm gonna throw my pelvis to the front. So like this, I fall, I throw my pelvis, I get the mount position. You see, once again. So he stand up here, I open my leg, I grab his ankles, and I throw him. So I put the hand on the ground, I throw my pelvis, and I get the mount position.
In the street fight, one of the worst possible positions to get in is mounted. From here, he can punch me and I can't punch him. Okay, so this is a bad position for us to be in. If I do end up in this position, however, there's a few things I can do to get out. But first of all, I have to keep, number one, I want to keep my arms in, my elbows on the ground. When I say arms in, I don't mean like this, because he can still slide up underneath my elbows and possibly get an arm lock or something like this on me. So I want to keep my elbows in like this. If he does get up under my elbows, all I want to do is put my feet on the ground and slide forward. And now keep your elbows to the ground. Easy enough. Okay? Also, I want to keep my legs flat on the ground. I don't want to give him a base for his legs to hook into. He has he can stabilize himself much better up here, much more power if he wants to punch me. From here, it's a lot better for me. I want to stay like a board on the ground. I also want to keep my head flat on the ground. I don't want to keep my head up because he comes under my neck and it holds on to me. It's much more difficult for me to get him out of here from this position too. So I want to keep my head down, legs down, and elbows to the side. Just put your hands on your chest. Don't get in the habit of extending your arms because you have the arm locks here. So keep your arms by your side. Okay, in this next movement, if the person's trying to choke me, I want to push him away with my legs. He's in my guard. I want to push the hand away and pull in with my legs at the same time. Okay? This hand wants to come here and grab the bicep. Okay? The hand goes in the back of the head and squeeze. So one more time. He's going to choke me. I push him away, push the hand away, and pull in with the legs at the same time. This hand's going to keep him close. Grab your bicep, put your hand on the back of your head, and squeeze.
So let's see one more time. We grab his arm, pass my leg over his head like this, and lock it on the other side. So I cross his arm on my stomach like this, and to increase the pressure, I bring his head down with my both hands like this. And the important thing, I had to arch my back for increase the pressure here.
So one last time. He tries to choke me. I push the hand to the side as I lift up. I come down and keep this pinned underneath with the weight. I can't just try to keep this here with my arm because he'll yank it back out of the way. I want to make sure that when I push down, I follow up with my body, keeping all the weight on top of him. My hand holds it here, hand it to the other, hand it to your other hand, keep all the weight on top of him. Slide your knee up, keep this knee down, and turn him to here. Very bad position. Elbow and a punch. Okay, if the person's holding the legs tight, once again, I want to grab his lapel here and his sleeve here. Stand up. Now, my leg is going to move into the crack right here, and I just want to drop. This breaks the legs. One time. Stand up. Bring the leg in the middle and drop. Now, from here, I want to continue the position. I want to put the knee down to the ground, but I want to make sure this elbow comes down like this with it. So I come just like this. And come across side. Okay, now let's get into a few takedowns. A common position is when two guys end up here, whether he's pulling away and I'm pulling this way or whatever, we end up like this. So what I want to do is I want to hang on here and hang on here. I don't have to hold on to his gi or anything, just hang on to his arm and his back. Now from here, what I want to do is put the weight on this foot and step in right next to his foot right here. Don't step too far through, I just want to step right next to his foot. Okay? So we're here, I want to bring the foot in, and now I'm going to fall back that way. Okay? So I step in, I fall down, now my foot hooks underneath here, and we fall over. I want to end up mounted. Okay? Let's try it one more time. So we're here, put this foot in here, right here, fall down, hook the leg, and bring him over.
Craig Kukuk, Renzo Gracie. Martial arts mats by Mancino. 30 years of manufacturing excellence, the ground floor of a championship workout. Mancino Manufacturing Company. 800-338-6287.